While all of the characters of Cobra Kai have grown over the years, Hawk has likely made one of the biggest transformations we've seen so far. He went from a shy kid who rarely spoke to anyone to one of the baddest kids in town. Within just 24 hours, Johnny Lawrence managed to turn this reclusive book nerd into a fearsome villain that nobody wants to mess with. But there are a few things you may not know about Hawk. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.
It's gonna be your last.
Why? Leaving early to fix that stupid haircut?
Eli is one of the main characters from Cobra Kai, and he has been with the series since it first began several years ago. About midway through the first season, Eli dropped his first name and began going by the nickname Hawk. The name was given to him by Sensei Johnny Lawrence after Eli entered the dojo one day sporting a giant blue mohawk. After Johnny coined the new name, Eli went one step further and got a full back tattoo of a hawk, which he makes flap its wings during competitions. According to Dimitri, Eli's best friend, Eli wasn't always the outgoing tough guy that he is today. As you can tell from the first couple of episodes, Eli was a shy, afraid, and low-profile guy until he met Johnny. He was born with a cleft lip, meaning he had a hard time learning to speak and had major health issues when he was first born. At some point along the way, he was given surgery to correct his lip, but it left him with a terrible scar, leading Johnny to originally give him the nickname Lip. Thankfully, this hurtful name didn't stick for very long before Eli turned his life upside down and reinvented himself overnight. It seems that Johnny gave him the confidence boost he needed to gain a bit of courage and take life by the horns. While Eli is certainly a far cry from the man he used to be, he still has a lot of room to grow. John Kreese certainly did a number on him and turned him into one of the biggest villains of the show. Time will tell how things go once he works alongside both Johnny and Daniel to bring John Kreese to his knees. But with all of this in mind, there are several things about Hawk that you may not know. Hawk and Dutch. If you haven't seen the original Karate Kid series, this may be a bit difficult to follow. But for a bit of backstory, Dutch was one of the main characters. He was Johnny Lawrence's best friend when they were kids and they both grew up in the Cobra Kai dojo. Dutch was known for being a bully to others after being manipulated by John Kreese, much like how Hawk is manipulated by Johnny in the first season. Dutch was Johnny's right-hand man, just like how Hawk is Miguel's right-hand man. It seems like the writers took major inspiration from Dutch when they created Hawk's character. To take it even further, the two were given the name catchphrase when approaching their competition: "You're dead meat."
Points or no points, you're dead meat.
Hawk and Johnny Lawrence. Another person Hawk is a mirror image of is Johnny Lawrence. You may not see this at first, but the two have a lot in common. And that's probably why Johnny latched onto Hawk so firmly when they first met. Both of these characters were influenced heavily by their senseis, eventually becoming the sensei's favorite student. They both grew to take on a hot-headed persona that would inevitably get them into a lot of trouble. They even met the same fate in the All-Valley tournament to a certain extent. Johnny refused to take mercy on Daniel all those years ago when he became injured, and Hawk refused to take pity on Robby during the tournament, leading to a serious shoulder injury. Bobby Brown and Hawk. When Bobby Brown comes into the series, it becomes very clear that he's the spitting image of Hawk. While the two may not look too familiar, they share a similar backstory and end up falling into the same predicaments. Both of these guys reached the semifinals of the All-Valley tournament, but they were both disqualified after committing illegal moves. Though Hawk committed the illegal move of his own free will, while Bobby was coerced. Eli's difficulty with Cobra Kai. It seems like Eli was raised to be a much different man than who he eventually became. We don't know too much about his childhood, but he seems to have been perfectly fine growing up to become a recluse who never took initiative. He and Dimitri got along great over the years, and they were both complacent and A-okay with being picked on. Though Eli soon became the student who was most affected by the Cobra Kai mentality, Johnny's words hit him so hard that he felt compelled to flip the script and take on a new persona. No other student seems to have done this.
If you don't want me to call you Lip, then don't have a weird lip. Can't you get surgery for that?
I was born with a cleft lip.
Eli is the most focused. Even though Eli made the largest transformation when compared to the other students, he also seems to have become the most focused fighter from the Cobra Kai dojo. When competing, Eli is always in the zone and will not let anyone distract him from his performance. It would be a bit of a stretch to say he works hard than all the other students, but he definitely remains more focused.
Do you want to help me win this thing?
He lost to Robby twice. If you think back to the 50th anniversary All-Valley tournament, you probably remember that Hawk was removed from the competition after he attacked Robby Keene when he wasn't looking. This allowed Robby to leave the match victorious and almost forced Cobra Kai out of the competition. Though Hawk lost to Robby once again, later on proving what likely would have happened in the tournament even if Hawk had not been disqualified. Hawk isn't the villain. Anyone who watches Season 2 will likely classify Hawk as a villain. Though that isn't really the case at all. Hawk was brought up by Johnny Lawrence in the Cobra Kai dojo, though it wasn't Johnny who corrupted him and caused him to harass other people. It was John Kreese. When you really think about it, Hawk isn't the one bullying people, it's John Kreese by proxy. So who is the real villain here? Hawk and Youngblood. I'm sure most of us missed this when watching the series for the first time, but it seems like Hawk may be a fan of the British pop singer Youngblood. If you look back on the episode Fire and Ice, you can hear Youngblood playing in the background as he and Dimitri are playing volleyball on the beach. Hawk's screech. This is a very minor detail that is super easy to overlook throughout the series. If you haven't caught on already, when something amazing is about to happen, there are usually a few seconds of heavy metal music that plays in the background, setting the tone for what is about to take place. Though if you listen very closely, when Hawk does amazing things, you can clearly hear the sound of a hawk screeching in the background. This even happened in Season 1, the moment Hawk walked through the door with his brand new blue mohawk.
Hawk. Fall in.
Hawk and Jet Li. Hawk obviously becomes one of the greatest fighters from Cobra Kai. He's very lightweight, agile, and one of the best offensive fighters the dojo has to offer. Though many fans can't help but wonder if some of these moves may be inspired by the legendary fighter Jet Li. This has been called into question even more once Dimitri and Hawk began to join forces while fighting. If you pay close attention, the two combining their strengths looks striking similar to when Jet Li and Alia worked together in the film Romeo Must Die. Even though these four fighters grew up in dramatically different generations, their styles seem eerily similar. So there you have it, everything there is to know about Eli aka Hawk in Cobra Kai. Did you learn something new today, or is there something we missed? Be sure to let us know in the comments below, and your suggestions may make it into a future video. Thanks for watching, be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.